I was very upset or frustrated at first because it looked like I'm not going to buy any house, at that time. But when we find out the American finance is, for me, it's really, just a good news, very good news. Our understanding is no interest involved, that's the main idea.
When someone first hears about Islamic banking, the typical first reaction is, how do you do that? How can you have a banking system which doesn't rely on interest? Because interest is fundamental to the way we do banking these days.
In the Hebrew scriptures, you find an interesting statement there, I think it's in the Leviticus, that addresses the Israelites that you should not lend to your brother with interest, with riba.
When if you're asking what is the Jewish understanding of ribit, then you really have to look at not only the biblical but the rabbinic understanding of ribit. And for the rabbis, these laws would apply in the relationship of Jews to non-Jews just as much as it applies in the relationship of Jews to Jews.
Our members who do business with faith-based organizations, whether it's a church or a mosque or some organization affiliated with a religion, whether they're building senior housing or trying to create small businesses to revitalize a community, or whether they're trying to build a synagogue, our members have never had a loss on one of those loans. So that's a very good experience.
One of the longer lasting impressions which you get is the piety of the Islamic bankers, the sense that they are not just engaging in financial transactions, but that in addition they are fulfilling a religious duty.
Islamic finance as being a part of Islamic economics is much more than being about interest-free finance. It's about trust, honor, integrity in contracts.
The love of money is the root of all evil. Money is available to if you manage it and not let it manage you.
Money can be the devil that can bring you closer to hell, and it can be also the very thick wall to protect you from hell if you utilize it correctly. And that's why I see that any successful Islamic banking is the one that looks at humanity first, looks at the person and develop the person who has control on the money to recognize God in every act.
LARIBA is a movement that we hope will catch on not only amongst the Muslims but amongst all people of all faith in Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity, Judaism and Islam. And it is a movement that looks at money as a tool, as a measuring device, not as something to be rented.
Headquartered in Pasadena, California, American finance house LARIBA is a faith-based financial institution. In 1987, a pioneering group of community members created this financial institution that has grown manifold since its modest beginnings. It has become the most recognized name in its field across the United States and around the globe.
Islamic financing is a total concept of financing. It incorporates 3 or 4 different aspects. The first thing is it must be socially responsible financing. The second aspect is the rate of return that's used for the financing needs to be marked to the market. It cannot start from a predetermined interest rate or any interest index. And the third most important item is it needs to be asset-based.
This interest also is known as rent on the money, which is prohibited in Islam and many other religions.
We are out to disengage people's thinking in terms of riba or interest. We want people to think in terms of the economic viability of every activity they embark on.
We make more of an effort than a traditional riba bank at looking at the property or the car to see if it's a good investment or not.
LARIBA is the only company in the world, and I say this without qualifications, that can reject your home financing or automobile financing application because it does not make economic sense.
LARIBA serves many of the states within the U.S., and we're looking to expand the canvas and cover the whole United States. We currently have offices in New Jersey, so to cover both coasts.
We are the oldest community-owned financial institution in the United States.
They come here to satisfy their faith. So that is more of an obligation on our side to give them the service that they require.
We started with American financing company a long time ago. We had a loan from the American financing company for the car wash 10 years ago, and right now we are starting a new car wash equipment. We are going through the process to get another equipment lease or finance through American financing company.
American Finance House cannot lend for anyone who would like to do business illegally, such as opening bar and selling liquor. We don't do that, it's haram.
We deal with the LARIBA financing company for almost about 8 years now. We finance through them about 3 machines. As far as financing, they are very good service.
LARIBA provides the services and facilities for financing, home financing, somebody who is interested to buy a new home. It can be a condo, it can be a townhouse, it can be an independent house, it can be a duplex, triplex and fourplex also.
I am a civil engineer by profession. I decided to buy a house in an Islamic way, and alhamdulillah, American Finance House provided that for me. Now I have some sense of belonging. I used to rent apartments for the last 10 years, and I was just going from one apartment to another apartment due to the needs, the rises, the kids was growing.
Once you come to LARIBA or LARIBA family, you feel that you are also a member of that organization.
My name is Ashfaq Shabandri. I'm working in KFC last 15 years, and I own this store last 5 years.
Last year our store was #1. So we got the award for best of the best. The best store in whole Southern California.
I'm very satisfied because of LARIBA, we don't have to deal with the interest and all.
They treat us like a family, That's why we are very happy with them.
Owning a home gives us a sense of security, besides the fact of actually paying lower than what the going rents are in the area. We looked at interest rates and, to compare the interest rates, and in fact LARIBA met the mainstream rates that were being offered.
American Finance House will not deal with you the same way a regular lending organization will deal. You can get to the president through a phone call, you can talk to, they really, when you go to meet them, you get to be treated as a human being. They'll ask you about your family, when is your wife due. We're going to invite them for dinner. We never invited them. I still owe them a dinner after we bought the house.
My name is Claudio Gallego. I'm a nephrologist, and I've joined a group here that has had experience with American Finance Company. I think they're interested in community expansion and helping people to grow, both financially, and they also want to make sure that the people they associate with have something to give back to the community. I respect that philosophy. I think that transcends any religious separations.
We found the opportunity to be competitive with what we got with the bank, so financially it worked out for us as well. The website of LARIBA gives some background about LARIBA's activities, and it also has some informative links to other information on the notion of Islamic banking and Islamic financing. So both the general background and specific projects of LARIBA, their philosophy and their methods. And my first contact was through emailing them through their website as well.
Honestly, I feel blessed to work with the people I'm working with. They're from all over the world, and of course they're very committed to our mission, to the company's mission.
We believe we have something to contribute to America. We're proud to be Americans. We live here. This is our home. This is our children's home, and we're trying to deliver a better system, a better product that complements the traditional system out there.
We are a specialized house, and we have a very recognized name as serious, innovative, high quality, transparent, American regulated finance company.
The ultimate goal is to hopefully remove the word interest from every household in America.
What if everyone said, we won't pay interest? Well, there is such a movement. In Dallas, ABC's Peggy Waymeyer.
Interest is banned because under Islamic law, all parties to a financial transaction must share in the risks and the profits, and no party can be guaranteed a return at the expense of someone else. At this Muslim financial institution, one of a handful across the country, home buyers do not receive a mortgage.
We've been very fairly treated by the American media, and we've received great enthusiasm. ABC News, a variety of newspapers. We've been invited to speak on public radio.
I first got introduced to American Finance House when I moved to the United States from Kenya, and I had no credit history whatsoever. It was very hard to get any credit from anyone. And I was trying to establish myself to start my residency, and I introduced myself, and without any knowledge of him ever knowing me, he was willing to help me start or give me a loan without any collaterals on the Islamic principles.
A community LARIBA financier or Islamic banker is a person who doesn't only have money, but a person who is willing to sacrifice his own time, his own life, his own belongings to make sure that the community lives better. It's not only a matter of how much money you make in terms of return on your investment. It is how many assets have you helped accumulate? How many households have you helped open up? How many people have you made their lives better? How many people have you touched not only their vision, their aspirations, their spirits, their hearts, but touched their pocket, their wallets? Because you can tell them anything you want, but at the end of the day they say, well, what difference did it make in my life? Am I eating better? Am I dressed better? Am I driving a better car? Am I enjoying better health care? And that is what a community banker, community financier should always be looking for.